driving back, just got groceries, finally got a day off. Feels like it's been a little while, but it's nice. I took an exam this morning for differential equations. Went to the river for a little bit, jumped out of a tree, did a backflip off a bridge. That was pretty cool. Maybe I'll put a clip of that in here. But topic for today is why being 20 years old is one of the most difficult ages to be. And obviously, this is just my opinion because there's no way I could know what it's like being older than 20. But so far in my life, this has been the most difficult so far, and I'm going to give a few reasons why. First off, 20 years old is the closest you are to being an adult while still being basically a kid. You're not legal yet. You can't do anything. You can't buy alcohol. You can't do anything. You can't get a rental car. You can't get a hotel at most places. And you're basically still treated like a child, even though in other aspects of your life you're expected to be an adult. For example, I do all my own grocery shopping. I cook all my own meals. I, work a job, go to the gym, am doing school at the same time. And all of this it all adds up to be a lot. So I get kind of overwhelmed sometimes, but I continue to do it because I want to excel in all of those aspects of my life. And like at work yesterday, I met 2 separate people that maybe in the future could help me to get a internship for oil and gas, which is super cool. It's always cool to meet people like that, and you never know when those opportunities will happen, so it's important to take advantage of them whenever that you do come across them. I'm going to try to make this video kind of quick because I think my phone's going to overheat, but still going on being 20 years old. It's such a weird transition because you're trying to act like an adult. It's almost like you're pretending. I feel like I'm pretending to be an adult. Stop shaking. Okay, we're good. It's still kind of shaky. That's all right. But I almost feel like I'm pretending to be an adult, even though I basically am one, because your entire life. Okay, it's so shaky. Your entire life of being a kid, you're, conditioned to be a kid. You haven't learned what it's like to be an adult yet. So, this brings up another point. I think it's very important, very, very important to go to college. Even if you don't think you're going to use your degree, I still think it's invaluable to go to college for the social aspect of it. Even if you don't use anything you learn in college, which most people don't, what they take away from college is meeting people, learning to live on your own, learning to take care of yourself, learning to make friends, learning how to be a personable person, be likable. It's a lot of little things like that a lot of people don't take into account whenever they go to college, because the overarching idea of college is to get a degree so you can get a job. But the most important factor of college is transitioning from a kid to an adult by being around other people that are doing the same thing and making connections with them, and all of y'all basically become adults together without realizing it. It's almost a natural process. And obviously that's not super great advice if you don't have the capabilities of going to college. You don't want to take out loans, don't do that, because being in debt is one of the worst places to be, especially if you can't pay it. Debt's not a bad thing, by the way. if you have money and you can pay off the debt, it's not a bad thing to be in debt, because that's how you build your credit over time, which a lot of people don't talk about. If you ever learned anything from Dave Ramsey, forget it. That guy is a fucking idiot. Dave Ramsey has been poisoning the minds of the youth for decades, because he preaches, oh, never take on any debt, pay for everything in cash, blah, 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 blah. Horrible advice. You will never be able to build wealth if you pay for everything in cash and never take any chance and never have any debt. That is how to be very average your entire life. If you're going to buy a car, it's not a bad thing to go into debt and pay a monthly thing for it, as long as you can afford it. If you cannot afford it, do not go into debt. But if you can afford it, debt is a really useful tool, because it allows you to maintain a higher income while still having these nice things. And then you can use that higher income to invest in other things rather than paying for the car or the house or whatever in total. And while doing that, you're building your credit, so you'll be able to get loans in the future that are worth more, and people will trust you. It's all a big cycle that starts with debt, and that's very important. That's one of the things I've been learning from trying to learn to be an adult and being 20 years old. It's a bunch of stuff like that they don't teach you in school. Like in school, they put me through Dave Ramsey's course and said, this is how you should live. You should never go into debt, blah, blah, blah. But then you meet actual people who know what they're doing and know how to make money, and they tell you that's not how you should go about life whatsoever. Debt is not a bad thing as long as you can pay it. Which I find is very interesting. Like, I still don't know how to do my taxes. I don't know how to do a lot of stuff, and that's okay. I'm working hard every day to try and be a successful person, be the best version of myself, continue moving forward in all aspects of life. Like, I continue to make these videos so I can become more proficient at talking. Not necessarily for anything, but just in general, because if you're able to vocalize your opinions in an efficient and that was going really well. If you're able to vocalize your opinions in a very efficient way and in a way that people want to listen, that is more powerful than anything. And if you can understand how other people talk and be able to coerce them in certain ways, that's how you become a salesman. And being able to sell something is the most valuable skill you can have as a human. Anyone who's rich sells something. That's just a fact of life. You have to sell something. You have to sell something to be rich. That's how it works. So working on these skills, like talking to this camera, indirectly helps me by improving my vocabulary, improving my vocal skills, become better at talking. Even like off camera, I try to talk to random people. It's almost like getting XP in a game. Every time I talk to someone or talk to the camera or practice talking, it's like I get XP, and over time it levels up and you get better. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that goes into being a 20-year-old, not being an adult yet, but you kind of are, but you kind of aren't, but you can't buy this, but you can do this. But you have to be an adult, but also you can't do these things, so you're not really an adult. But you have to take care of yourself, but also you still live with your parents, so it's weird. It's just a lot of things that add up that make being 20 years old specifically, I'll even make it broader, being 18 to 20. No, not even, because whenever you're 18, you're still a kid. Being 18 is completely different. I'll say 19 to 20 years old is a very, very transitional period in a lot of people's lives, where you either evolve and become successful or crumble under the pressure and it's too much for you and you can't do it, and you become a fucking crash out and are 50 years old working for hourly pay. which I cannot do. Having someone at my job tell me I can't take lunch infuriates me more than I can even vocalize. It is one of the most demeaning things to be told as a person, is another human who you can physically beat the fuck out of, and you have to listen to them because they sign your checks. It is unbelievable. And I just passed a cop. Hopefully he doesn't pull me over. Thank God. I was going 8 over. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about today.